Hello everyone and welcome to our first tutorial video for Math 122 this fall. In these videos I'm usually just going to be picking a couple important problems from the problem sets I've assigned, and I'm going to show you how I would solve them, how I would work through the problem and get to the solution. These videos are intended to serve not just as a reference for you guys on the homework sets, but also are intended to illustrate for you the kind of work that I expect you to show when you solve these problems on quizzes or on exams. So what are we covering in this video? In this video, we're looking at the problem that asks you to find the equation of a line, and in particular, the line that passes through the points 1, 3, and 5, 9. So how should you solve this problem? I recommend proceeding in steps. So step 1, I recommend always just write the general form for the equation. Now, in this case, we know that we're looking for the equation of a line, and we know that the equation of a line always looks like y is equal to mx plus b, where m, recall, refers to the slope, and b refers to the y-intercept. So for step 2, I recommend that you now just find the slope. So recall that the definition of the slope is that m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And all of these values come from the points that you are given. So in this case, first off, we have our y2. We see that that is the y-coordinate from our second point, so that's going to be negative 9. Then we see that that's minus y1, which is the y-coordinate of our first point, which is going to be 3. And then down here we have x2 is the x-coordinate of our second point, so that's going to be 5. And then x1 is the x-coordinate from our first point, so that's going to be 1. So what do we get? We get that we have negative 9 minus 3 divided by 5 minus 1, where again, negative 9 came from that color, 3 came from this color, and then the 5 over here, and of course, the 1 over here. All right, all that we have to do now is actually calculate this out. So negative 9 minus 3, this is going to be negative 12. And then 5 minus 1, this is going to be 4. So our slope is going to be, well, 12 over 4 is 3. It's going to be negative 3. And this is going to be our slope, m. So now that we found the slope, step 3 is going to be to plug this slope in. And then also we're going to plug in additionally one of our given points. So you can choose either this first point, 1, 3, or the second point, 5, 9. We're going to plug those into this equation here. And then our goal is going to be to solve for b. So let's do that. First off, we have to plug in y. I'm going to choose this first point, so we're going to get a 3 here. And then that's going to be equal to, next up is m, the slope. And we know that this slope is equal to negative 3. Then next up is the value of x, so we're plugging in 1. So that's times 1, plus now our b over here, which is what we're trying to solve for. And again, just to make sure that everything is clearly color-coded for you guys, I plugged in this 3 from our first point, the y value of our first point. M, or this negative 3, is just our slope, and 1 is just the x value of our first point. So having done this, we can now just solve for b. We see that we get 3 is equal to negative 3 plus b. Now we want to pass this -3 here, we want to pass it to the other side. So we can simply add 3 to both sides to get b is equal to 3 plus 3. And this gives us that b is equal to 6. So we're basically all done now. All that's left to do is to just write out our final answer. You can do that by just plugging in the slope and the y-intercept. So the equation of our line is going to be y is equal to, our slope is -3 times x plus